Maybe you've been able to tell in my last couple of videos that I've been under the weather this week. So I woke up this morning and a good hip mobility is what I wanted to do, so I'm taking you with me. So lie down on one side. You're just going to do some hip rotations, bent knee. Start by bringing that knee up as far as you can without shifting your pelvis, and then open up, internally rotate, bring it back to the front, and reverse. Next, you can stay here or add a straight leg. Remember, your goal is to move your leg as far up and as far back as you can without shifting the pelvis. We're really just keeping the movement at the hip socket. Okay, from here, I lay on my back. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to lift that leg up as far as I can towards my face without tilting my pelvis. And then open it up to the side, taking it to the floor as far as I can. I keep my hands near my pelvic bones to help me catch when I start tilting my pelvis, because I do on multiple occasions and I have to put a stop to it. Okay, now I just reverse it 2 times this other way. Okay, straight to the other side. Bent knee, open it up, internally rotate, bring it back to the front, and reverse. We're moving through internal and external rotation. Now add a straight leg if you want to. So all throughout our day and also through typical exercises we do a lot of hip flexion and hip extension, but not as much rotation. Okay, last time here, and then roll onto your back. That left leg up and then bringing it out to the side. And then again, then we'll reverse it for 2. All right, last one. Okay, now we're going to come up into a 90-90 position. So have that left leg in front, right and back. Get your knees close to 90-degree angles. We're going to start on that front leg, and we're going to externally rotate, about using those muscles, squeezing them, pressing them into the ground, pressing your knee into the ground as you lift your ankle and foot off the ground. And just lower and lift. Go at your own pace. Remember, keep that knee on the ground. You can lean over farther than I am You can lean over as far as you need to. Just wherever you start, that's where you stay. Okay, next, you're just going to lift your whole leg off the ground and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Stay here. All right, now we're going to change it up. You lift and hold. And then straighten out your leg in front and hold. Come back to a bent knee and hold. And then lower. Now press that leg into the ground as you hinge forward. And it may be helpful even to think about like you are pulling your leg to you as you lower and pressing into the ground as you lift. Should definitely be harder than it looks. Okay, good. Now we're going to rotate. Lift that back foot up. We're internally rotating on the back leg. So you're just keeping that knee down and lifting your heel. And do about 10 of these. And then we're going to switch it up. Okay, now you're going to lift the leg, bring your knee to your shoulder, an option to extend your leg. You don't have to do that. And then tap your knee, then knee to shoulder, knee to the ground, knee to your shoulder, and just keep alternating, tapping knee to ground, knee to shoulder. Just really rotating, moving that femur bone in the hip socket. You're almost done with these. Okay, now you can rest for a second, and then you're going to lift up, extend to the side, bend your knee, and then press behind you, squeezing your glute. Extend to the side, come behind, squeezing your glute, trying to keep your leg off the ground the entire time. Do a few more of these, and then hold. Hold, 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 and then let it go. Now we're going to move to the other side. So lift that right knee. Keep that left knee on the ground as long as you can. And when you no longer can, lift it up, and then you'll come to the middle. Legs at an angle to the side. Now put your arms out on your legs, make your arms stiff, and you're going to press into your knees, pressing them down to the ground. Your thighs are passive right here. You are just using your arms to press them into the ground. And now hinge forward. Now move to the other side. Take that right knee down and then the left knee down. And we're just going to do the same thing on this side. So first we're going to externally rotate that front leg by lifting the heel off the ground. Lift and lower. Now you lift your whole leg up. Do about 10 reps here. And now you lift and extend. And now you're hinging forward over that front leg, just like we did on the other side. Holding for a few seconds and then coming back up. All right, last one. We're going to move to that back leg to internal rotation. Keeping that knee on the ground, you're just lifting your heel. Okay, now lift the whole leg, bring your knee to your shoulder, extend if you want to add that in, and tap your knee to the ground. Knee to shoulder, knee to ground. Just keep going at your own pace. Okay, now rest for just a second and then extend and then squeeze your glute behind you. Extend to the side, squeeze behind you. 3, 4, squeeze, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and hold. And take it down. And you're gonna come up to a kneeling, bring that leg around, pull that back foot in for that quad stretch, and then straighten your front leg. And we're just gonna go through that 3 times. Swing that back leg around, and you're gonna slowly lower, come back up to kneeling, bring that leg around, quad stretch, extend the front leg, bring it down, swing that leg around, and come up, that stretch, and straighten the front leg, and then we're adding something on here. Come back down. You're going to get that foot, draw it as close as you can, and now squeeze and hold it. We're holding for about 5 to 10 seconds. Hold, 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 and let it go. Now I'll swing that leg back around, come back into that 90-90. You're going to open up that left knee, and then when you have to lift the right, lift the right. Before we go to the other side, let's rotate here. Okay, now we kneel again, bring that right leg up, pull that left foot in, extend the front leg, then come back down, swing that leg back around and lower slowly, and up, swing the leg, get the quad stretch, straighten the front leg, come back down, and swing that leg around, and slowly lower. We got one more of these. Come up, swing the leg, pull your foot in, and drop it, straighten the front leg, and hold. Bring it back down, pull that foot in as far as you can, and then squeeze and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, good. Now we come back down. Now open back up. We're going to stay here for a little bit. You're going to extend the leg, tap it, and bring it back to a bend. Extend, tap your heel, bend. Extend, tap your heel, and bend. Extend, tap your heel, and bend. Let's do a couple more. And last one. Okay, now we're going to work on tapping our knees down. Your knee may not go all the way down. The point is you just need to rotate it in that direction. Now we're going to put them together. Bring that right foot in and then bring that knee towards the floor, and then left side. And we're just alternating side to side. Remember, your knee does not have to go to the floor. Do not force it. Okay, now we're just going to hinge forward towards the floor. You may not go very far, you may go far. You're just hinging until you get to that point where your inner thighs tell you to stop. And that's where you need to stop. Don't push it too far. Now widen your straddle a little bit, and we'll do that again. You won't be able to go down as far. I'm just kind of hinging forward a little bit before I walk my hands out into a static stretch, to a passive stretch. So keep your back flat and just go as far down as you can with your back flat, thinking belly button to the floor first. Now watch this next part before doing it. I'm putting my hands up under me and leaning forward and coming to a straddle hold up in the air. This requires very active muscles. I want you to be sure you can do it before you go there. You don't need to pull a muscle. And then you can just lower down to as far as you can in the splits in the middle. You can use blocks or pillows under you to support you. Okay, now I'm just twisting it out, taking that right foot over on the left side and twisting, and then I do the other side. Okay, coming over to hands and knees, and I'm going to press up into a down dog, sits bones to the sky, lifting that right leg up, and then bending my knee and opening my hip, and then I'm stepping it through to a lunge and lifting my right arm up. You can stay here or drop your hips and then rotate around into a Cossack squat. You knew this was coming. Walk it forward some and drop your hips and then come back up. Again, hinge, pushing your hips back and then come back up. And again, hinge, pushing your hips back. They're hovering over the floor. And then move to the other side. You can use your hands. We're doing the same thing here. Pushing your hips back and then coming up. Pushing your hips back and then coming up. And do it again. Okay, then just rotate around. We're moving in reverse, dropping that hip. Move into a twisted lunge. Three-legged dog, bend your knee, open your hip. Square your hips, three-legged dog, and then bring it down. Hold for just an extra second or two and raise that right leg and step it through. And then I go to a Cossack squat again. Move to the other side. Then I realize I am facing away from the camera. So all I'm doing here is turning around to face the camera. I'm just moving back and forth in that Cossack squat. Like I said, you can stay high, you can stay on side lunges, you can place your hands on the ground to help move you. And now I'm dropping that knee, then taking the top of the toes down and sitting on my heel. Then up, tuck the toes, lift the knee, and come back into that Cossack. And one more time, drop the knee, top the toes down, sit on the heel, and now I'm just gonna scoot on out into a half frog position. You can rock back and forth here, and then find that spot where you know that you need to stay and linger just a few extra seconds. And then walk it back up. And then tuck your toes, come back to that Cossack squat and move to the other side. Drop your knee, toes to the ground, sit on your heel. That kneeling position, tuck your toes, lift your knee, come back on your heel into the Cossack squat. And again, knee down, top of toes down, and then just shimmy out into that half frog. Ideally, you want that bent leg to be somewhere around 90 degrees. Mine is on this side. It wasn't on the other side. It's not a big deal either way. But technically, it's supposed to be around 90 degrees. Okay, now I just bent my right leg. I'm in a full frog position, knees at 90. Just rocking back and forth. And bring it up. Okay, now bring that right foot down. You're coming into this high lunge. And drop the back knee and lift. Drop the back knee and lift. To do that, you should really feel that down your hip flexors, your quadriceps. Now we're about to change it up a little bit. Okay. Hinging forward, dropping the back knee and hinging forward over that front leg. And then left hand down, right arm up. Getting that stretch and that TFL, that IT band. And then both hands on the ground and down dog. Now just step that left foot through. We're just going to do the same thing. Tap the knee and lift. Tap the knee and lift. Do this a few times. Keeping your ribs stacked over your pelvis. And now tap and hinge. Tap and hinge. Tap and hinge over that front leg. Right hand down, straighten both legs. That left arm up, keeping your hips square to the ground. Or to the front. And then take both hands down. I'm just walking it to the middle. Just moving around, however feels good. Now here again, you can hold off on this part and just watch me. I'm taking my hands back and I'm sliding down my hands into a straddle and then pushing myself up into that straddle hold, standing up. And then just bring it down. Bottoms of your feet together. Gonna take your hands, press your knees down. It's a passive stretch. Now keeping your hands pressing down, now press your knees into your hands. So this is a different sensation. You're keeping those inner thighs active in that stretch. And now just fold it over. Okay, we're nearing the end of this. All right, come to the ground, bottom of the feet together. Just let your knees fall out to the side, and you're just going to engage your glutes and lift up into a bridge. So you're just in this funky little bridge. It's doing frog pumps. You're in this butterfly position. Pressing the outside of your feet into the ground as you squeeze your glutes and lift. We're going to switch it up just a little bit. Okay, here it is. Here is the change. Your knees are out, and then as you squeeze and lift, you're going to bring your knees together. You're taking those inner thighs from that stretch position, and then you're squeezing them together at the top. And just hold, squeeze your knees together, and then lower, bring your knees in and just rock out from side to side. Drop that left leg, extend it, press it into the ground as you pull your right knee into the ground. You might get a little hip flexor release in that left side. And now switch sides. Press the right leg into the ground as you squeeze the left knee into your chest. And then come up. Legs extended. You're going to hinge over. Think belly button to thighs before nose to shins. I'm going to stay here for a little bit. At this point, my toes are not pointed. but I will change it up and point them before this stretches over. Okay, now there I am pointing my toes, and I am squeezing my quadriceps. Legs are engaged, toes are pointed, and I'm lengthening my torso, thinking belly button to thighs. You could be in a much more upright position than me and still feel this stretch. You just need to go where it is that you feel the stretch and don't push it past. Okay, one more quad hip flexor stretch. Left foot in front, pull the right foot towards you, engage that right glute, and tuck your hips under. And other side, right foot forward, pull the left heel to your glutes, tuck the hips under, engage your left glutes. Really helps open up your hip flexors on that side. And then stand it up, shake your legs out. Let me know in the comments below if you tried this.